patch came in this morning, so we can test my big old main save to see if it's fixed. No idea. Well, I did look at the patch notes. There's just a few notes, but one of them is PS4 memory management fixes, which sounds promising. Let's see. Main save. 6,225 hours. Last time I played was just a couple days ago. Main save. It crashes mainly on my base visits, where I'm running around picking up resources, trying to rebuild my fortune when I spend a bunch of it. Of course, lately, one of the big expenses is new slots, space on your spaceships and the freighter. You can't buy slots for the freighter, but you buy slots for your suit. I've got all the suit slots, I think. The ships and the multi-tool. And maybe someday slots on the exocraft, who knows. But mainly I'm doing slots for the ships. And you can find the coupons for ship slots, or you can just buy them outright. So here we are in the space anomaly. I've got a bunch of stuff. I sort of gave up on it in the middle of trying to build some, of the I just got one. Yeah, I was playing stuff that didn't require the bases, so I was able to keep up on my Quicksilver accumulation by playing daily and weekend events. But let's go visit some bases. So I'll start right with the oldest base, the Rockridge Farm, and there's just a few agriculture egg domes that I collect stuff from. This is usually a pretty stable base. Some of the others that get unstable pretty quickly. Version 4.08. In case you didn't see the title. Yeah, they skipped 4.07. It was maybe a Switch version only or something. I don't know. Working normally here so far. These eventually were causing trouble too. But this base usually isn't much trouble. It's just got a few Domes full of crops. Built a bit haphazardly because it is a historical artifact in a way. Built from my early visits to Hilbert Galaxy back when you went to Hilbert Galaxy 2, it was much more difficult, if not impossible, to go back to Galaxy 1 Euclid. You abandoned all your bases in Euclid when you went to Hilbert, and this is what I built. Okay, that was I think everything I need to collect here. We'll try the next base, which would be sandals. I have had trouble with sandals at various times. Not so much crashing as the growth timer on the plants was really wonky. There was resetting itself every minute to not grow the plants. It would be the full growth time on all the star bulbs. Every minute it would reset the timer. I think I found out that it was, of all things, it's maybe a coincidence, but I turned off multiplayer and was able to get the plants to mature properly. It has crashed here as well, but not any more really than many non-base things, perhaps. It's not a particularly large base again. It's just a bunch of star bulb and a few domes and a bunch planted outdoors. So I've got a few domes here. And everything's going fine so far. Now all the rest is outdoor plantings. Saving again. I got a couple big rows here. Everything going smoothly so far. It follows an odd pattern here of skipping over some save. The old autosave is kind of annoying sometimes, but it probably saved me a lot of times here when I was getting all these crashes as well. So it's a trade-off. Wish you could control how often the autosave, once every minute seems excessive to me, especially on the PS4 where the saves do take significant number of seconds. On faster machines, they're not as annoying. You hardly notice them, in other words. but the PS4 it still takes time to make a save. So it's going well. As I've said a few times here, that's encouraging. We'll see when we get to some of the more difficult bases. The Toxic Bungalow is a good test, of course, but also my Ice and Cobalt base has been a problem for a long time now. I wonder if they fixed it. It seems to be a slightly different problem of some sort that is knocking me out in that base. Eisentam Cobalt base. But once again, it's not a large base, but it is super unstable for reasons I cannot fathom. Doesn't seem to be that much of a different base or anything, but yeah, probably all of my bases are, follow a few set patterns that make them you could almost tell what one of my bases are going to look like. For one thing, I don't have any glitch building. It's all standard snap to select a piece and drop it somewhere. You don't try and switch it out with some real quick button pressing. They're just built the way the game was designed, not the way it turned out to be. And, well, in my mind at least, the glitches are just asking for crashes. You don't really know what side effects a glitch maneuver might have, and crashing is one of the possible side effects of a glitch maneuver of, not properly programmed and designed into the game. It's just what turned out to work most of the time. Even the best glitch builders, the glitches don't work for them every time. They have to try, several times to get a piece to drop where they want it. Whereas supposedly, if I press the buttons I'm trying to press and not press the wrong button, it'll work every time. If I understand what I'm doing at all. That's my point of view anyway. I'm sure there's people that disagree. So, haven't had any trouble yet. If I suddenly go offline, you'll know that I've found the limits of this patch for my stability test, and it has gone blue screen on me. One last one here, maybe a few by the steps, the door, and this base is done. I'll try the next one. Rocky Roads is not this one here is next. Iron and sulfur. It's just got a couple of mines. Mineral extractor mines with storage depots, they're called. They're the big tin can storage facilities. One watcher has shown up. Welcome. Just testing the new patch here this morning. See if it crashes. I'm, kind of trying to crash it here with some of the things that have crashed for me in the past. Visiting my bases is the problem I was having with the few recent versions. So I got some mineral extractor systems here. Magnetized ferrite and my robot. Now where'd the other cans go? Way up there. We got some sulfurine. No problem there. Didn't really expect a problem with this. It's a small installation. We're getting to a slightly larger one that occasionally causes trouble. This is a major mining operation. It's got 5 different mines on one base, 5 different mineral extractor sites that all get pipelined to a central collection. Oh, there's that glitch on the in the graphics. I don't know if that's related at all to any of the crashes. And it went away. It can be a sign of instability, though, that glitch. We'll push it anyway. We won't do a reload here, any mitigating stability attempts. I'll just push on to collect stuff from these mines and farms that I've accumulated over the ages. So just we arrive in the vault, and here's the first storage network. Radon, 13,000 radon, 750. And that's good. Then we have the copper, just 7,000, but you don't need as much copper usually. Cobalt, 7,000 also. It's a special base that has 5 different commodities. That's the word I'm looking for. Oxygen. Oxygen is very common around the universe. Dioxide, moose, there you are. New patch this morning. I don't know if you saw it or heard about it. 7.08 on the PS4. So I'm on my main save, seeing if it fixed any of my crashes. That was the Camp Radon and Docksite, etc. Nature Tours, it has nothing I need. Yes, hope it fixes your crash issue. Well, I, I got the feeling that it's more than one crash issue that is piling up on me. So this is a gold base, I think. AU is gold. Just a simple little mine. We'll find out shortly here. I haven't crashed yet. I've been to, three, four bases already. Collecting resources. Don't really need the gold, but stop by here anyway. I don't. Probably been a while since I've been to this base because I don't need a lot of gold in the game. Something extra to sell anyway. Don't even have a building for it as such. There's the storage canister depot, supply depot with gold in it. 9,500. No problem other than it put me inside the rock for point of view. And we're done here. Could sell it right away, but I'll just accumulate stuff for now. Look at that dairy. Well, that has a little bit of farming domes, but mainly the feeding station to collect cooking supplies. Not normally a problem. It's a fairly stable base. We'll check it out anyway. The big test will be Eisen Cobalt, I call it. Eisentem Cobalt base. That it's a base in a system with several other people have bases in that system. I think that's the key characteristic that was making it unstable. Even with multiplayer off, you still see those other people's bases, and they load in, use memory, and made it unstable. So more star bulb. I don't need that. I'll just harvest the domes here. Yeah, that, if it wasn't for the multiplayer problems in the game, it might be a much more stable game overall. Even with the option labeled as multiplayer off, you have multiplayer issues with other people's bases. So this harvester is empty. We'll put a little bit of stuff in here anyway. Got 2 stacks, so put 38 food in here and see how it does. Now, without attracting anything specifically, we got two animals feeding there. 3, 4, 5. They just come in swarms here. And the harvester, there's a couple more on the other side now. The harvester picks up all their products quite well. Just one feeder and one harvester with a nutrient processor to make new creature pellets whenever you need them. With just 38 pellets in there, they should polish it off pretty quickly. You get a lot of animals, it goes more quickly. I gobble them up. You can see the harvester grinding them up there. So, kerchunk, kerchunk. Enough animals here already that don't even want to count them. More coming in all the time. They kind of stake out a little area where they can pick up the pellets that the feeder throws out, and they just sit there and eat away. They're always milling a bit, like a zoo. Feeding time at the zoo, I guess, but the zoos try to keep the predators away from the herbivores or whatever, but they're all mixed together. The predators don't bother the prey animals until the feeder runs out of pellets, and then they start gobbling up the little animals around. You can see that's a big predator there, and these little ones are all herbivore type of things. And there's a strider, so we'll get some tall eggs thrown in. But mainly milk and what do they call them? The fruits. There goes another egg. You can see them popping out of the creature's body and into the harvester machine occasionally. So check here how much food we got left in there. 28. I think I put 38 in. Daniel Hennessy. Welcome, Daniel. New patch this morning, 4.08. Doing a stability test here. If I suddenly disappear, it's because the stability test failed. We got tall eggs, leopard fruit, and mushrooms. We don't have any milk or milk yet harvested. It usually gets a little bit of milk too. The patch note claimed there was a memory PS4 memory patch correction of some sort, which hopefully will help me help my problems with. This is a large legacy save, my main character, but it was getting really unstable with the last few patches. So if they fix that, I'll be quite grateful. It was so bad that I wasn't playing this save file much. I was going to a secondary save file I have and playing some on a Switch that I acquired, Nintendo Switch version. No new vehicles, not that I know of. Nothing in the patch notes. Haven't really looked for anything. Yeah, this is nothing new as far as gameplay. This farming stuff is all old stuff. Just the stability that I'm looking for at the moment. And it's primarily PS4 stability that I'm worried about. If you're on other platforms, it's not so much of a problem. Even the PS5 is better because it's got larger memory, I believe. It's not gonna... Five stock unit. Oh, it's full stack of leopard fruit already. 100 leopard fruit from 38 creature pellets. All this is from 38 creature pellets. 14 eggs, 100 and some, and 12 mushrooms. I got 112 leopard fruit already. So like the creatures are sharing the pellets, obviously, and they don't need full pellets. This is much more efficient than handing the food to them or throwing it out on the ground. Uh, 17, so it's only 21 food pellets, creature pellets fed out already, 22 creature pellets to produce well over 100 harvested goods. When you can find a planet that has a high enough density of creatures like this, did the predator kill something here? No, that's just his middle legs. I thought it was another creature under his legs there, but no. He's just eating the pellets, same as everybody else. And we got plenty of creatures attracted. I didn't send out, or I didn't roam around, throw out any other pellets at farther distances. My world that instantly crashes when I open it. You're on PS4 as well? I have a base like that too that I just can't visit anymore with or it was this case. I haven't got along to it yet. So yeah, let us know how it turns out for your tests. 162 leopard fruit. That's from predators. See, this is a smaller predator that also produces leopard fruit, I guess. Whereas these pointy nose guys are producing other stuff. I don't think that's a predator. Pouch empty. Berry pouch. Oh, okay, he's producing leopard fruit anyway. Recently fed. Oh, there's some ships. A big old ship. See, I'm on a mountaintop here. So the frigate passing by is almost level with me. It might collide directly with the base. You see a mountaintop there? That's a long cliff down, and I got all these creatures on this mountaintop. And you can see there's another mountaintop over there, another mountain, maybe a kilometer away. And maybe, yeah, another one that direction. The frigate is zoned out already. I don't know if I've noticed one that close before. It's nice to see. I haven't actually scanned things for a while. They've reset. I scanned the creatures. They should be mostly green dots. Are they thinning out? Have I run out of food for them? Or maybe they've maybe consumed all that, not quite all of it yet. 3 left. But they thin out whenever I wander around too far from the base. They'll wander off, then something happens. But they come back in, and so creatures can be rescanned too. Some of them, anyway. Loaded in your system. Okay, good to hear. There's another strider with a big fin on its head. That's one of the striders around here. Kind of an ant body, a 2-legged ant almost. Is that another red dot? No, it's a plant. There's some red dots. Oh, come on. There's a scan. So I think that'll probably be all the food that I allocated for them. Yeah, it's empty, so they'll be wandering off now and thinning out. You can see they're leaving there when they get hungry now. And I'll be able to clear out the harvesting machine and go to the next base. This all went well. I got a bit of a storm. A lightning bolt came down nearby. Oh, I did get a little bit of milk, wild milk, 6 of them. 29 eggs and a ton of fruit and mushrooms. Oh, still coming in. That should be about it, though. Lightning storm. So I've got exosuit. Still got some room in the exosuit for. No, not there. I want to go to my teleporter. The next base after this is the dairy just at Galactic Center. Ammonia. Another small base. Good so far. That's encouraging. Great news. So maybe they found that memory problem that was causing us PS4 people so much trouble. It was kind of funny. My large legacy save, this one that I'm playing on, was much more unstable than a secondary smaller save that I have that seemed to run smoothly. So it's when they start to run out of memory, start to reuse memory a little bit more, churning the memory around with a large save that they were revealing the crash bugs. So another stormy system. Oh, extreme hazard. Pick up a little ammonia here. I think that's all I've got here is ammonia. Now we start getting into the bigger ones. One called a big base, but it's not really the biggest base I have. It's only got 10 crop domes or so, I would say. It's a good test anyway. We'll go through them in sequence. It's the one after this or 2 after this, the second one after this, that is really large base. It's called Toxic Bungalow. Is the really large base that can really cause trouble. But Eisentam Cobalt base is the one, not terribly large, but it's terribly unstable for me. I've had trouble with it for a long time. We got a few barrels. Here's a dome. Harvest. Another dome. We got one supply depot barrel system for radon or nitrogen. Nitrogen here, and then a few more domes back inside. Go through my vaults. Out to the wings here where I've got a few domes set up. Going well. Haven't found any problems yet. Haven't found any of my old problems at least. 3 more over here and we'll be done with this space. Those selenium, they're important to get for building them into stasis device, etc. So after the big base, we've got activated indium and nitrogen. Relatively small base again, but occasionally has trouble. Maybe just an accumulation of visiting 2 or 3 bases around it that eventually it crashes in here, even though this isn't a really problematic base either. Just some nitrogen and radon. No, nitrogen and activated indium. I think it's my only base that actually collects activated indium. It's useless stuff other than to just sell, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, you can refine it into the odd chromatic metal or something, but here's the nitrogen right out on the landing pad wings. And over here is the indium. Saving again. And away we go. Now here's a good test. Toxic bungalow. You wouldn't know from the name, but it's the largest farm that I've got. It's got two, like a one large wing of domes just strung out over a long collection path of all sorts of crops. I think it's a full set of crops, all 12 of them, plus a few extra domes then for some extra selenium and I don't know, some frostwort. Not enough, of course. I still have more farms. It's limited mainly by the stability problems. And also, yeah, this has some other people's farms on this planet that impact the stability, as Moose and I were speculating earlier. If you can get a planet to yourself, it seems to be a little more stable. So we got just a few of these mushrooms planted outdoors that I usually collect these first. Outdoor extreme toxicity, so I don't like to be outdoors too much here. The rest are indoors. Extreme night toxicity detected. Yeah, you told me once. The good old walk of shrooms here. It's just a little covered sidewalk between the landing pad and the main building. See, the landing pad is that way with a little waiting room, some couches, and then the main building where all the farming goes on. Vaults, trade terminals, and here we start the rooms full of crops, which I can just collect them from the corridor. I got a zigzag sort of pattern for it here. At the time I thought it would have some efficiency, but I no longer believe that, but I still have the legacy of building it this way. And a slight change in building style for these selenium, whatever it's called. That's the end of the corridor. I start working back towards the main building again. A zigzag, and then yeah, back to the zigzag pattern. Coming to the end of the base here. Some of the miscellaneous crops. There's the nip room. Just one room full of them, because once again they're not terribly useful in actuality. And we're done. So that worked okay. We'll take off to the next base. Toxic bungalow. So then selenium, sulfurine actually. I named the base slightly wrong. NMS, no crash yet. So it seems promising here. They've been focusing their development efforts on the redux of the expeditions, and gave them a little bit of time to patch up all the other stuff, the stability issues that I was having, maybe. Hopefully that's the story. I'll have to go over to the Switch and play the new expedition if it's got one here. Heck yes. Heck yes. Oh, do another manual save. I usually do that after visiting Toxic Bungalow, so I don't have to redo it if I do crash. But with the automatic saves these days, it's rarely needed. 10,000 sulfurine, and that's just more sulfurine barrels there. So that I have had stability problems here at times, and this time it went smooth. It's looking good. So that was here. Runway and hexagon have no crops there. Light fissures. Eisen Cobalt Enterprises. Here's a good test. This one has been my least stable base, really. It's not terribly large, but it sure crashes. It crashes so much that it's hard to get away from, even with reloads and restarts and reboots or whatever you want to try. was crashing this base. Just zone in and look around and it would crash. Only way to get out is load a new game and then go to the alternate save from the previous base and give up on this base altogether. It's what I've been doing for a while. I haven't actually been able to harvest this base for weeks now. We'll see what happens if they found this problem, which seems to be a slightly separate problem that way. So here I am. I can usually get this far, but if I start to move, it triggers instabilities. So look around. I haven't actually moved, I'm just looking around. My head is moving. I take a step. Okay, no problem yet. Go down the stairs here. You have to go out. Oh, a sound glitch there. That's one of the places where it crashes. Down in the basement, we got the cobalt. Collect the cobalt. Looking good. Looking good. See if we can make it back to the teleporter. Back up to the stairs. Oh, I got a snappy plant trying to get me. Looking good. I think they might have found my problem. Back to the base. Loading the bases in is good, good, good. That was Eisen Cobalt Enterprises. So next we go all the way to the radon uranium mines. I think it'd be next. Excellent. I think you did it, Hello Games. Congratulations on finding my instability problems and patching them. PS4 is once again just as stable as any other platform. I'm thinking. I believe. I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything. I believe it. I guess it. I think it. I don't know. On the other hand, maybe some other platform has been destabilized. Who knows? Woohoo! Uranium. I might be able to actually rebuild my unit balance. The dome with the glass walls missing. I've kept it that way on purpose. If I go inside, I can't go out through the door. The door is blocked, but I can walk out through the wall, the missing wall sections. I can walk out through. I don't think, yeah, oh, I can get in through them as well. That's a weird dome anyway. You can tell how long ago I built it, right? So that was the radon uranium. Check out the phosphorus plant. The rest of these should be just mop-up single product bases that that I have built to fill in the gaps in the other base, the main bases. Stuff like phosphorus, I missed out on somehow, so I built a base specially for it. Bases that I discovered would habitually run into shortages of, selenium or frostwort, and so I would occasionally I'd extend a larger base, but just as often I'd just build a new base for it. So we got phosphorus, 10,000 phosphorus, which is 9,999 in one stack and one phosphorus in another stack. Kind of annoying. Should cut back to the 9,750, which would be the next step. But I haven't. Phosphorus, Euclid Center, Rattler Nest, Aptercab Office. We'll skip that this time. I often check in at the office to see what the farmer is up to. So here's the three-wing farm. Was a different philosophy in farming for this one. It's actually a relatively large farm, but I was trying something different with it, so it wound up being fairly large. It's built with 3 wings. Each wing is specializing. Every dome in the wing is the same as every other dome in the wing, and each dome can be crafted to a single peak, the crafting tree to a specific product designed to be built, such as circuit boards. The largest wing is for the circuit boards. We got some stairs and a save point in the middle of the intersection with 3 wings. The first wing is living glass. You need living glass for stasis devices, I believe. So it's got 6 rooms here. Each room or 5 rooms. And the second wing is the liquid explosive wing, which you need for fusion inducers or whatever they're called, FI. Each room will produce a couple liquid explosive. The largest wing is down the middle here, circuit board wing, which is twice as big as the other 2 wings, because circuit boards are used for both stasis device and fusion inducers, the 2 main crafting products. That all this is targeted at those stasis devices and fusion inducers. There, this farm is harvested. We'll save it so we don't have to do it again. And go to the next base. All very clean and 3-wing farm. The Terbium Church has just a few products that they produce on the side while they're not uh, maintaining their chapel. Mainly just a garden for a few crops to maintain them when the religious fervor of the Terbium congregation wanes. They've got something to fall back on. So just a garden here with all sorts of crops. Both cash crops and food crops. And excuse me, sneeze time. And one little mine for cobalt. Another cash crop for or cash source. A few barrels, nothing much in them, of course. And we're off to the next base. I showed the chapel in other base tours, I believe. So that's the church, Deepwater, Shark Fin, Colossal Mall. The mill has a couple of mines, mineral mines that we can harvest here. Yeah, I'm almost surprised that ice and cobalt seems to be fixed. That's great to see, because a couple of times they seem to fix up some memory crash issues, and most of the other bases would then run smoothly for a while, but ice and cobalt would still crash miserably. So it's nice, and if it went nicely, I maybe can go back and check it again later. But I've run this whole session now without rebooting, streaming and everything. So sulfurine, it's restore my confidence to play the game instead of playing the meta game of outguessing the developers and where they made mistakes. So that was ice and cobalt and three-wing farm, the mill, two-wing farm. Slightly similar, slightly reminiscent of the three-wing farm, but just styled as two wings. Looks good for now. Kazit 16, 16 Kazit. Haven't really seen any glitches or anything other than that dome that has the wall missing, but that's just a visual thing mostly and doesn't cause any problems. It's just cute. It's related to how when you build a new dome you can put the door on any of three sides, and the fourth side it denies for some reason. So We've got the vaults there, and I got 2 wings here. Oh, ball rolling. That's a message left over from the mill. It's giving the wrong message. It's giving a message from the other base. Living glass and circuit boards in this wing. One side is one product and the other side of the wing is a different product then. Once again targeted at those ultimate crafting targets that I have in a few other places. Well, let's do a save. And I think we're almost done. Just a couple more bases. Two-wing farm, tiny colossal depot has a mining supply depot canister. For something, I don't remember what, nitrogen or something. Yeah, I feel like breathing deeply here after holding my breath for 3 weeks, waiting to see if it crashes. It's nice to see this patch. Yeah, I wonder if that's what they were doing that with 4.07. I never saw. And it's skipped right to 4.08. Just out of curiosity, I wonder how their development process for those. So that's the yeah. See, this is in a colossal depot. We got another canister up there. That's just a peripheral one that I put there for fun. A couple, yeah. Anything else? No. So the whole base really, other than the gas extractor, which is off in the field, whole base is just here on this platform of the colossal planetary. So you step on this and it starts the warning lights blinking for these guys to watch out for a teleporter in operation. Three-wing farm, tiny colossal depot. Colossal emerald colony, collect some emerald. It's connected to another colossal planetary archive is the word I was searching for earlier. Colossal planetary archive. It's connected to this emerald base, but it's actually a long ways away from the base and the emerald. I think there is I don't know, a short-range teleporter to take you over to the Colossal Archive. Oh, right in here, we got emerald. 5,000 emerald, more than you ever need. And they're all the same, all linked together. 4 of them there. Okay, just look around a little bit. Oh, colored vaults. So some of them are kind of rusty and whatnot. And if we look around, there's a landing pad. And there's the mine right there in the valley by the station. If we go up on the roof here, I think we can see. Oh, maybe not. Can't even see the. Oh, there's the archive over that way. A long ways away. But I think that I thought I connected it with a SRT, but maybe not. Oh well, we're not doing that today anyway. We're just collecting resources, so where was I again? Colossal Emerald Colony. So mushroom farm. At one point I ran out of mushrooms, so I built a mushroom farm. This is another base that's in a collection of bases by other people. And so there may have been at certain times in the past stability issues. I am playing with multiplayer off today. I'll maybe do this again with multiplayer enabled to see if that has any relevance to the stability. It will be an interesting test. Wait for all these farms and mines to refill and try that. So a few mushrooms out here, planted, and wild one, the big wild one beside these little planted ones. Autosave. And then I'll go indoors. Here's the greenhouse domes, growing more mushrooms, and I think more than one type of mushroom in that one. Back to the regular toxic mushrooms, fungal mold. Oh, and we've got some ammonia here. which is the what I call the fertilizer for the mushrooms. This way. The teleporter's actually outdoors. Mushroom farm, habitable base. After the mushroom farm, that was that one. Arpus derelict. Colony at the end of the universe. Portal base. Lost colony. Fort Cobalt. Not a lot of cobalt, but a little bit more to collect anyway. It all helps replenish my funds, which were getting quite low when I couldn't go harvest all my farms. Built around a central tower keep. We got a fort. It's more like an old, well, not like a castle fort that you'd find in Europe. More like an Indian fort that the cavalry would build in a Western movie. Imagine these walls as wooden palisade, wooden spike pole walls with we got a walk around the edge for the fort with the central keep tower in the middle and a landing pad and a causeway. It's built on an island here with some water coming in, but a walkway to get to the mainland over there. We've got switches that will lock the gates from the guard station here. If they sees anybody looking nasty coming across the causeway, you could lock the gates. And there's a killing zone inside here that you can shoot down on them as they come in across that causeway there. And if the only way out is through power gates. Normally the enemy could be trapped in here or trapped outside on this causeway, assuming that they're not flying, right? And the only way into the fort is through the double gates, which can be locked from the causeway. Somehow this guy got in. There. Collect some milk off him. And the barracks are on the ground level, and then the main observation level and strategic escape via a teleporter. So, mushroom farm, Fort Cobalt, magnetized radon. Well, it's actually magnetized ferrite and radon, but another two product base. Yeah, this warp glitch hasn't correlated. I got a couple of them now. The little black, it's just a graphic glitch, I guess. I thought in the past that it was a hint that the memory management problems were oncoming and time to do a reload to hopefully avoid crashes, but hasn't turned out that way. There's still the graphic glitch. Maybe just the my graphics subsystem running out of memory somewhere. Oh, we've got producing. Oh, that's the extractor right there in the middle of camp, and we got magnetized ferrite, just 2,000, and we got over here some radon. I simplified this base. There were some other buildings and stuff that I took out to try and alleviate the memory pressure. I did that on a few bases, but it didn't help. So that was Fort Cobalt, magnetized radon, Suford Hot Mining Co-op. Another multi-product base, multiple mines, mineral extractors. Not quite as large as the 5 products, only 3 here, and they're just the 3 common products, but by the time I figured out that there was just 3, I'd already built most of it, so I left it. I was hoping to get another 5 product base, but it didn't turn out that way. You see, some of these warps you can go without that little black glitch in the middle. So I thought I could garner a clue from it, but it seems maybe it isn't. So we have here cobalt, and oxygen, and copper. And that's that base. The co-op, mining co-op. So Daffodil Park is next, where we got the radioactive planet flowers that are yellow like daffodils. I call them daffodils. There's no reference to daffodils in any of the stuff from Hello Games. They call it, I can never remember what they call it. Some sort of root, gamma root, that's it, gamma root. uh, and the gamma plant on radioactive planets. So I built a daffodil farm here to just because I ran out of daffodils one day and I didn't want to do it again. Didn't want to run out again. We got a locked up screen. Is it going to finally crash for me? Looks like I found the limit. Well, you know the old definition of a bug-free program that, and we haven't got a bug-free program here. There's still bugs. But the definition of a bug-free program is trivial. A trivial program can be bug-free. A non-trivial program, such as No Man's Sky, will never be bug-free. It's by definition. So we have a bug in the warp, the teleport system. Randu 2 and 4 on expedition. Oh yeah, the rendezvous 2 and 4 locked up in the teleports or the warps. Warping and teleporting are very similar things, just what device you use to do it. So looks like I'm going to have to close the stream off here after an hour and a half. Pretty good anyways. It still has a bug. We can't, stability is admirable though for this, you know, the distance from trivial that this program has achieved. The degree of stability is what I would, as a programmer, I'd call it admirable for today anyway. Yesterday I had a different opinion. So I'll see you on the. I think I'll actually take a break here as well, and I might come back later this evening. I don't know, but that'll be it for the afternoon stream. And we'll see. If not in the evening, well, we'll see you on your stream there, my midnight. Uh, Thanks for dropping in as usual, and we'll call this a 95% successful test. Thanks, Moose, and bye for now.